You can get your NECA figures at Big Bad Toy Store. Check them out at the link in the description.
Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey collectors, it's going to be Steven here, and welcome to another NECA review, where today we're going to be taking a look at the one, the only, he's the baby, you gotta love him, Baby Sinclair. That's right, today we have what is effectively the most popular, or one of the most, dinosaur characters in media. We've got Rexy, we have the entire Sinclair family, Spinosaurus. I mean, who doesn't remember the baby, right? So with Baby Sinclair here, we have a full loadout of accessories with not a whole lot of articulation. So the idea that we have, an articulated action figure of Baby Sinclair is kind of funny, but nevertheless, he is here and he's ready to hit his daddy with a frying pan or anything else he might be able to hold. At a normal priced Ultimates figures, is this one going to be worth the purchase, or should you maybe let this one go extinct? Let's take a look to see whether or not this guy is going to be worth adding into your collection. Interestingly enough, looks department is pretty simple and straightforward. They did use the dot printing, whatever you would prefer to call it, for the eyes and the pattern that is going to be on the head of Baby Sinclair. And then otherwise, the paint application for the yellow shirt is actually, it's a little thick, almost pastelish in some areas. You'll obviously be able to see the joints at the shoulders. Those are starting to flake a bit on my particular unit. And then when we do have the diaper for him, around the crotch area, there is a notable seam line, and that's going to be obviously where everything's put together. So you are going to have that, but it is definitely notable there. What I will say is, compared to the prototype from the final product, the teeth are very notable in the promotional pictures. However, for the final product, it is very difficult to see them. You really have to look into the mouth. It's almost impossible to get good photography of the teeth. For the rest of the figure, realistically speaking, we do have small paint application for the toenails and the fingernails. Baby Sinclair's pretty much simplistic. There really isn't a lot to report back on in the looks department. He looks just fine. Is this an action figure? Yes. Does it have a lot of articulation? I was actually surprised. Is it meaningful? I'll let you decide. So we do have swappable head parts, so I will go ahead and I will show you that. We do have, it is a barbell style ball joint, but realistically speaking, when we pop the head on and we get to moving the head around, you see how far down it goes. So we can look up about that far, down about that far, rock from side to side a little bit, and obviously spin the head all the way around. For both of the head parts, it will be the same. For the shoulders, they do plug in, so we do have swivels, and then we do have hinges, so this way we can raise and lower the arms, and that's going to be the bulk of the articulation there, because you got to hit your daddy with a frying pan. So we can move the arms in and out, and then we can flap them up and down, the same for both arms. For all of the hands we get, the wrists will plug in on pegs, and then they will have hinges, so keep that in mind that if you do want to change the expression of the hands, you are going to have to swivel the wrists. With NECA figures, I would always suggest heating up the hands, so this way you move the wrist hinges without any breakages. We do have a swivel where the shirt comes down and meets the body, so we can twist and turn Baby Sinclair around just a little bit. We do get, well, spoil the tail articulation, full range of movement around if you need. This isn't going to be, possessed Baby Sinclair, but c'est la vie. We do actually have ball jointed hips, but what are you going to do with all that? Because you can't pose them standing. But nevertheless, it's good to see it. We do have hinge knees. Okay. We do have swivels there as well. They do turn a little bit. And then for the feet, the ankle hinges and ankle rockers. Okay. It's okay, hold on. And the tail comes separate in the box, and it is on a ball joint. It only goes straight out though, so we don't have like a bendy wire or anything, which I think that would have been pretty neat if they could do. So for the articulation, they put a lot more joints into this thing than they actually needed to do, but I suppose that circumvents like the need to have like dangly legs when he's in his high chair or so forth. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but at the same time, it kind of feels like a fruitless endeavor to put that much articulation into something that can really only sit. It's good, but it sort of makes you scratch your head and makes you ask why. I'm simultaneously complaining and not. All right, accessories. Okay, there are a ton here. So let's just go ahead and hit the ground running. We do have an alternate head part with the horn. Cool. We get the high chair, which includes the blanket. We get the bottle, a bowl, a spoon, slingshot, TV remote, baseball bat, frying pan, caveman cookie with a cookie creature, a few stuffed dinosaur toys, Georgie the hippo, and we get 3 interchangeable sets of hands. Whew. Okay, here is the alternate head sculpt that comes with the horn. Here is the disappointing part. Yes, okay, the horn, cool, fun. The issue is that this is going to be an expression of baby that it's kind of iconic. It's going to be one of them, along with, an again expression. So if you do not want the horn, well, then you're kind of SOL. Now, for the rest of the accessories, let's just go ahead and talk about them and put them up on the screen so we can get a nice close look. When it comes to the different, let's be honest here, they are weapons for baby Sinclair. We do have the spoon, we do have the baseball bat, and we do have the frying pan. By default, baby Sinclair is going to come with left and right weapon holding hands, so this way he can hold those weapons along with the slingshot. However, for the right hand, he is going to come with a dedicated spoon hand, so you can slip the spoon in there, whether it's going to be pointing upwards or pointing down, which is good. So he can go ahead and he can create havoc in the house using either weapon in either hand you would like. So keep that in mind, though specifically for the wooden spoon. When it comes to the bottle that he does have a dedicated left hand part, which is opened wide enough so this way he would be able to hold the bottle. It's specifically for the left hand. Now, when we take a look at the rest of the accessories, unfortunately, when it comes to the caveman cookie, he's not able to hold it. So it's cool that it is there, especially because we have the creature, but unfortunately, it's just kind of a prop. You may need to get some blue tack to have it held up. And I've tried different combinations of hand parts, and I was not successful ever in getting him to hold it. Taking a look at the different things like the dinosaurs and so forth, they are all really cool and nice paint applications. They're pretty simplistic, not a whole lot to write home about. And Georgie the hippo as well, you can have him in your display to create tax evasion issues. That's something you can do. Not a whole lot to write home about. No points of articulation on any of the little plush creatures that our baby Sinclair figure will come with. And of course, we do have the very, very famous bowl as well. The remote is going to be different than Earl Sinclair's remote, so don't get them confused, because, I don't know really how. The cookie creature is pretty straightforward with the paint apps, and I'm kind of surprised they are as clean as they are, though you will notice there is the seam line between them. Otherwise, for the hand parts for baby Sinclair, I did not talk about the splayed hand parts that we get. Left and right hands will be splayed. So hopefully I provided you with enough pictures here for all of the different accessories, because now at this point we should be able to get over onto the high chair, which is pretty simple to assemble. And the blanket actually just goes on the back of the high chair. I'm not quite sure why they didn't just put the blanket on there sculpt-wise, but c'est la vie, I suppose. Now, obviously, we are going to have, I don't know what that's called, but it's going to be like the knot table that you're going to have to pop off in order to put baby in there. So you are going to have to pop this up, and you're going to have to slide that little top part out. You'll notice that there are 2 little notches on the back of the high chair, and there you go. That's going to be pretty simple and straightforward. When you get it in hand, trust me, everything will in fact make sense. So let's go ahead and do a gallery so you can see how some of the accessories are used. You can get some creative ideas for maybe some display options. Again, there is a lot in this package, and what do you want to do here? Do you want to come up with a creative, fun fantasy display? Do you want baby to be absolutely nice? Or do you want him to hit Earl with one of the many different weapons that he comes with? There's a ton of cool stuff to be had here. And quite frankly, I'm not sure what else they could have included, except for, admittedly, I know it may not necessarily be accurate, an eggshell for him to have. He would have to not have his shirt, but c'est la vie. That would have been cool. But considering everything else, which we'll wrap up at the end, I understand. But if you do need other effect parts or accessories or stands, you know that I have videos to help you out. To round out the review, a size comparison section with both of the currently available Sinclair figures, so this way you can see how big they'll be when you do add them to your collection, assuming that you're going to. Of course, we have to have father and son here, because I think most people will get them together. As you can see for themselves, they look nice together, and they should blend in just fine enough on your shelf. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. The best complementary part to this release is going to be Earl Sinclair, so I would say if you get one, you should get the other. But that being said, depending on where you're looking to get this is going to be about $40 or so. That's a lot. But considering that this set comes with so much, it is easier to justify that price. I personally feel pretty comfortable with paying that much, especially for a figure that comes with so much. And then once you throw in the fact that you can pick up Earl as well, okay, so it's going to be higher than your average Ultimates price, but they both came out really, really well. Admittedly, the quality control and some of the stuff regarding the paint apps for Baby could have been improved, but it is what it is. I do think that we should get more of the Sinclair family, but time will tell. The only thing that I didn't talk about is it kind of looks like his mouth opens and closes. It does not. Why? I don't know. It's just me. Another emotion too. That would have been cool.